Massive one at Anfield on Sunday. Let's hear from Erik Ten Hag, but first Jürgen Klopp.
They are where they are. They turned into a result machine. They squeeze results out. They have really good performances, top football, and if it's not going that well, they still get results. So that's why you are there. They are fully, everybody knows it, they're fully in the fight for winning the league. But again, not really important for tomorrow, for Sunday, because we are there as well, and we try to be at our best.
Of course, a test, but we facing Liverpool, and we're really looking forward. And I know these players, my squad, my team, will be prepared to go and fight and to go with confidence. But we know it's going to be difficult. We know we have to suffer, we have to sacrifice to get a good result.
Karen Bartley, Julien Laurent in the studio. Karen, Manchester United in the title race, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, just look at them, their form. They're absolutely flying. They're full of confidence. I mean, Erik Ten Hag has a well-oiled machine, and he's, definitely at the helm. There's a lot of belief. I mean, Rashford is absolutely flying. The changes that have been made in terms of like the substitutions and the timing of it, they're all really, really effective. So I think Erik Ten Hag is very confident in his strategy and his decision making. And I think especially off the win of the League Cup final, he's got the fans on side, he's got the organization on side, and there's real evidence that what he's doing works.
It's a massive turnaround in such a short space of time, isn't it? Like, I know in the middle they had the defeat at the Etihad, a hefty one, but remember this last game between Liverpool and Manchester United at Old Trafford? That was so pivotal for Ten Hag to get the fans on side.
It was a turning point, really, considering he'd lost to Brentford away and to Brighton at home before that. And remember, it was a Monday night game, and it was like, I don't think any manager at United history had lost the first three in the league or something.
Yeah.
It was a crazy start.
I remember those. Horrible.
And for them to go and win that game and scoring early, I think helped them massively. They had a really good game plan where they forced Liverpool to play long, which worked really well, which shows again, I think, the kind of elite mentality that Ten Hag has, and even that late goal from Liverpool didn't change anything, and that was exactly the kind of performance that they needed at that time to turn their season around. And after that, they've just built on it collectively. The Cristiano Ronaldo issue was dealt very well by Ten Hag and the club, to be fair. And then players like Casemiro.
Is there anyone in better form than Marcus Rashford right now? I mean, the confidence is just oozing out of him, isn't it? 17 goals in 19 games since the World Cup, Karen.
I mean, it's been. I mean, if you had to ask the question, which you have, I think Casemiro's up there as well in terms of the form that he's been on. But just looking back at some of these clips, I mean, you see Sancho's announced himself as well, and he got back on the score sheet that night. But yeah, he's been unbelievable, Rashford. Like the form that he was in maybe at the beginning of the season, the transformation that he's undertaken, he is, maybe this is cliche, but he's become the player that everyone hoped he would be, and I think he's just, I want to know what's going on up there. I really want to know.
The behind, this is what he's always done, the pace, you use the pace, and I think they're doing that really well this season. But he's added the heading goals, for example, which was not really his forte before. You see there the stats, the minute per goal. If you look at his expected goals as well, so he's doing much better than the goals that you expect him to score, which is hard to maintain, really, because the gap is quite big between what you expected him to score and why he actually scored. I don't know if you're a big expected goals fan or not.
No. I mean, I can go into all sorts of depth with that, but I think what is fascinating as well about how he's changed and his goal threat is the types of movements that he's making. Yeah. To your point, he's running inside or getting in behind, I should say, but he's also he's become almost more technical than I felt like he was, a few seasons ago in terms of understanding, getting into tight space, the tight control, but then also, what was it, a run from the outside, inside.
Is that Ten Hag?
I don't know. It must be, right? Because he just seems so much more confident to take people on 1v1, 2v1, whatever it is, get across people and make sure that, if he does lose the ball, at least he's fouled. Yeah. He seems a lot more intelligent about his approach.
Do you know what I really want to ask you about Marcus Rashford? And I noticed this so many times, particularly this season, and he's done it for years, but he very often aims at the goalkeeper's feet deliberately. Right? You don't see a lot of strikers do that, try and pick out corners top and bottom. And he has so much success with it. I mean, is that a keeper's nightmare with so much power at the feet?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think a lot of times with him as well, there's not very much backlift. So as a keeper, you're looking for a trigger. You know, you're looking at where the ball is in relation to them. Is it close? Is it central? If it's central, it could go right, left, whatever. You know, if it's a toe poke, it could be anywhere. And so it's about that timing as a goalkeeper, like when you hit the set. And for him, yeah, it's really difficult because the set position, obviously your legs are, you know, a bit wide, and it's really, really difficult to go from a narrow start position. So you're seeing keepers go down as a block or maybe try to close the distance as a spread.
It's a big risk from him, though, because it could go very wrong, couldn't it?
Well, yes and no, but clearly he doesn't think it's going to, and it's working for him as well.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the fact that there's hardly any backlift as well.
Doing a lot of work with Benny McCarthy, who is the forward coach now at Manchester United, and I think working with Ten Hag and in a structure has helped Marcus a lot. And I think the work with Benny McCarthy in terms of finishing, making those runs, having that kind of confidence has also helped him a lot.
What about Liverpool? Because they're actually now only 6 points off the top four, or off Spurs, I should say, in fourth place. They've got a game in hand on them, and they play Tottenham at Anfield to come. So it's on for them, isn't it? You know, they look resurgent. If you take away the Real Madrid game, you know, and obviously we're looking at their win midweek against Wolves on Wednesday night. How crucial, Karen, is it that they finish in the top four in terms of the rebuild and the recruitment for the summer?
It is huge, isn't it? Because, I mean, if they don't get that Champions League spot as well, and if they don't prove that they're kind of changing things around players in the summer, and to rebuild that side, it's clearly an aging squad. It's clearly evolving, and it needs to evolve a bit quicker. You know, we're seeing, obviously, Nunez is creating a lot of opportunities, finishing more, but he's a fascinating player. He's pacey. He's unpredictable. You don't necessarily know what you're going to get from him. He doesn't always make the decisions that you think he's going to make, which as a player as well, as a keeper, you think, oh, you're probably going to put it there. And he could scuff it and it could go in. You just don't know what you're going to get out of him. The likes of Salah, obviously, he's playing in a different kind of role. So he's not getting the touches, the services that we're used to seeing him get. Obviously, bringing in Gakpo as well. That front three, part of me thinks maybe are they too similar, or are they just really, really different? Like, how are you making them work together as a unit?
And Jota's back. And of course, Luis Diaz isn't far away as well. Just final, Liv, because we've got so much to get in. Roberto Firmino, news today that he's not going to sign a new contract. And he was the first piece in that Klopp puzzle, right? I mean, 8 years at Anfield. He's a Liverpool great and will be remembered as that.
Yeah, of course. And Brendan Rodgers signing. Let's not forget that. It's not Klopp that signed him from Hoffenheim.
But Klopp kind of made it work.
Yeah, of course, because Klopp arrived not long after anyway. But I mean, maybe the best sort of false number 9, or certainly different number 9 than the one we were used to before. We were talking about Haaland earlier. It's so different because he's almost a 10 and a 9 in the same player. It was so good with that Mane and Salah because he just make them play, and the service was great. So they will miss him, and I don't know if you can go and find a similar player. No. There's not many.
Great signing for someone, 31
Benzema,
years old. You can imagine him going to Bayern Munich and scoring 30 goals a season.
There's more good years in him. For sure.
Yeah.